But this is some of the footage, man. This is from Kareem Copeland. He said Raven Johnson still picking up bigs. Now, I want to know how y'all feel about Raven Johnson picking up bigs, bro, because she's definitely been picking up a lot of bigs. Let's watch this.
Day 3 of Indiana Fever training camp brought some notable talking points, with two names generating the most buzz among fans and observers online: Raven Johnson and Lexi Hull. Hull's mini-camera moment circulated widely, but the bigger conversation surrounded Johnson and the role the team appears to be building around her. What has caught people's attention is the defensive assignment Johnson has been given.
Now, I don't know how tall this guy is, but she definitely playing inside the paint. That's going to be very interesting. You know, I don't know if it's going to work. You feel me? But it's definitely something that we're going to be paying attention to, bro, because that is a crazy way to use her. And it looked like Steph.
Footage shared by reporter Kareem Copeland shows her being tasked with guarding big players, an unusual setup for someone listed at around 5'8". Head coach Stephanie White appears to have made a deliberate choice to deploy Johnson in a number of defensive looks, and one of the more striking elements of those clips is just how deep inside the paint she's operating. Whether or not that approach will hold up against WNBA level size remains a genuine open question.
Stephanie White has definitely made it her business to say that she's going to use Raven Johnson in somewhat of a defensive format. I believe this is more from practice. No. Is this the full thing? What is this? I want to watch this right here.
We're putting pressure.
Someone like Aja Wilson presents a completely different challenge than a practice setting, and as former player Sophie Cunningham has noted, what works in camp has to eventually carry over to real game situations. Clips circulating from the first day of practice show a slightly different picture. Johnson wasn't stationed inside the paint to the same degree, which suggests the scheme may still be taking shape. Still, the overall pattern across multiple days points toward a clear intent from the coaching staff.
Hi.
How do you feel like yesterday went? Did it feel similar?
Oh, no, bro. Yeah. We ain't messing with Scott Agnes, bro. No. No, sir. Reed, bro. We ain't messing with you, dog. Let's see here. Now, just like I stated, it was some Caitlin Clark footage that has come out as well, too, on top of that. Now, Austin Kelly, the Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark also had footage emerge from camp that generated strong reactions, adding to a day full of content from the Fever sessions. Austin Kelly, the team's assistant coach, was caught on a mic-up segment that made the rounds as well. The clip showed Kelly running drills, calling out positioning cues, tracking repetitions, and keeping the energy on the floor moving.
Fever assistant coach. Here goes some more Raven Johnson. Now, I believe these clips right here is from the first day, and it don't look like they had her playing inside the paint on that set date, but I don't know, man.
The exchange drew some laughs, particularly a back and forth where a player was being timed and Kelly kept a deadpan count going until the attempt landed. It was a lighthearted moment in what has otherwise been a camp full of players working through new systems. The central storyline, though, stays on Johnson.
I don't know, man. It's interesting the way that they're using her. And I just cannot believe that they possibly, could you imagine her trying to stick on like, you know, Aja Wilson or somebody like that? Because the game got to translate over. Just like Sophie Cunningham said, the game going to have to translate over. And I wanted to translate over for you. You feel me? But at the end of the day, we just don't know. So it's just going to be very, very interesting moving forward.
A 5'8" guard routinely picking up bigs is an experiment worth watching closely as the preseason unfolds. Sophie Cunningham's recent comments about her new Indiana Fever deal have stirred up a wave of discussion across the WNBA media space. The veteran guard was re-signed to a one-year, $665,000 contract, a number that, by her own admission, fell short of what she was hoping for.
Be very, very interesting moving forward, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, there is some Caitlin Clark highlights that I want to show you guys. And she went off, man.
All right, we're gonna start, guys.
So I believe this clip right here is not accurate.
When directly asked whether the deal came in better than expected, Cunningham gave a flat, unambiguous response: no. She pointed to her MCL injury recovery as a complicating factor, explaining that not being able to get in front of teams during the offseason put her at a disadvantage, even though she had been medically cleared and all the documentation was available. "I'm kind of frustrated," Cunningham told the interviewer, and those 3 words set off a chain reaction across sports commentary channels.
We're here, we're low line. This is that drop, okay? When you go from here, that thing shifts, you're jumping to the ball.
The debate quickly shifted from the contract itself to what the word frustrated actually signals. Those following the story closely have pushed back on the idea that frustration is a mild or neutral emotion. The argument being made is that frustration, in most people's experience, sits right next to anger, and calling it anything softer is reading the situation too generously.
Because I'm thinking to myself, well, when I'm frustrated, I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm mad. Yeah, I'm big mad, as some people didn't like the title of the video. I don't care. When I'm frustrated, I'm not happy, and I'm probably pissed. All right? And I really thought, in fact, her using the term frustrated was trying to be as politically correct as she possibly could be.
Cunningham later moved to get in front of the narrative. She clarified that her feelings weren't purely about the dollar amount. Her desire, she said, was to secure a multi-year arrangement so she could settle in, bring her dog and her donkey to Indiana, get a house, build something lasting.
Frustrated was trying to be as politically correct as she possibly could be, right? But it was going to be a big story. You got somebody that you could argue is nearly, I would say this, one could argue the second biggest star in the WNBA, second most recognizable star in the WNBA, talking about a contract from what is the Dallas Cowboys of the WNBA. America's team, the biggest brand in the...
She called the Indiana situation very special and expressed genuine attachment to the franchise. Still, that follow-up statement has been interpreted in different ways. For some, it softened the story.
Biggest brand in the WNBA because Caitlin Clark plays on it. And she said, I don't like the contract I got.
The Fever re-signed our good, close personal friend, Sophie Cunningham, to a one-year contract. Let's go.
It was close. It was close.
Can I be nosy right off the jump? Given the changes in structure and money and all of that over the last few weeks, like, was the contract better than you thought it would? Nope. Okay, sorry.
For others, saying, I'm not mad about the money, while also acknowledging disappointment, doesn't fully close the door on the idea that something about the situation stung. The broader context makes this story hard to ignore.
Okay, sorry.
No hesitation. No hesitation. Right, wrong, or indifferent, this lady is not happy.
No, it's okay. I think,
Sorry.
no,
It's okay, but it's really not okay.
fine, because it's tough because I came off an injury, and like I haven't been in front of any teams. Like I had a lot going on this off season. And I was fully cleared. They had all the doctors. They had the numbers and everything. But if you don't,
Cunningham is widely considered one of the most recognizable names in the WNBA right now. The Fever, because of Caitlin Clark's presence, have become the league's highest profile franchise.
they had all the doctors. They had the numbers and everything. But if you don't get in front of these people, then it's like, hey, like, are you actually good? And so that, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was like a little kind of frustrating because I'm someone who like, I kind of shoot it straight where if I wasn't feeling good or like I was hesitant, I think I would have said something and like been honest.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of frustrated. Well, when arguably the second biggest name in the sport says she
When a player of Cunningham's standing signals any level of dissatisfaction with her deal at that particular team, it carries weight and it travels fast. There's also been a comparison circulating to Lexi Hull's contract, which involved figures in the 7 to 8 million range.
arguably the second biggest name in the sport says she's frustrated, that's news. So I know I put a video out about it. I know Ben Daniel put a video out about it. I get up this morning and in my DMs, somebody sends me this and all they say is damage control. And I was like, oh, damn, that didn't take long. That didn't take long at all. Sophie Cunningham is trying to put out the fire. I'm going to show.
The argument from some corners is that Cunningham's performance across a significant stretch last season, particularly a roughly 1-5 game run where her three-point shooting was exceptional, and the team went approximately 10-5 warranted similar compensation. One detail fueling the back and forth is the title framing used in early coverage.
Trying to put out the fire. I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm not mad about the money. If you're frustrated, you're not happy. I just wanted more because I love it here. I wanted to get a house so I could bring my dog and my donkey to Indiana with me. That's it. That's the truth. I think we have something very special here in Indiana. That's a fantastic comment. It's a great.
Words like Big Mad and Pissed appeared in thumbnails and headlines, drawing complaints from some viewers. The counter to that complaint has been straightforward. Calling frustration anything other than anger is a stretch, and the vocabulary used in those headlines was simply more honest about the emotional register Cunningham was operating in.
Fantastic comment. It's a great comment. Let me get out ahead of it. I'm not mad about the money. I think that's open to interpretation. I think it's completely fair if anybody believes she's angry. That when somebody says, I'm frustrated, okay? I know when I'm frustrated, yeah, I'm angry.
Whether Cunningham stays with Indiana beyond this season remains an open question. Houston has been floated as a destination that would suit her well, and the Texas market has a strong track record of embracing players of her type.